Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Yes, I got up and put some makeup on, or at least some lipstick and eyeliner. Listen, let's get into it. We gotta talk about Diddy. We gotta talk about the angel of. Yo, listen, y'all know that I have been obsessed with this Diddy thing. Why? Because I always heard rumors, but I never thought that they were true. I've been doing so much research, and you know what I gotta say? I think Kanye was right. I think Diddy might be fed. I'm not even joking. The angel of death is literally always following Diddy. He actually might be the angel. How did all this stuff happen and there were never charges filed? Y'all, let's get into the two missing doctors. Let's get into Cassie and what he did, because it's not just the grotesqueness of it, it's the fact that licensed medical professionals went along with it. It's the fact that the New York page 6, which is the gospel of New York society. Yes, they are gossip, but they don't print anything unless it's verified. The New York Times, the New York Post, they are not trying to get sued. Page 6 just did an expose on Diddy. And baby, they went back to when he was running in with Heavy D. They went back to when he literally did a hayuka on Steve Stout. Y'all, we got to get into this. We literally have to get into this. Where do y'all want to start at first? Y'all want to start off with Cassie. He literally but the story is even crazy. I know you probably heard it, but the story is crazier. He made Cassie get a augmentation. She went home that night. He became a rage, rolled up to the doctor's office on some hooligan, Brooklyn, kicking the door, waving the 4-4 mess. Told the doctor, I don't like the way they look. They need to come out now. The doctor was like, are you insane? Are you insane? The doctor couldn't believe it. The lady said Cassie just stood there sobbing. But what happened to the doctor? He ended up complying with Diddy, which, again, how did you not have your license removed? But what happened to the doctor, well, that was even sicker, right? Let's talk about it. Let's also talk about the very obvious things. Shall we? Let's talk about Kim's Wiki page, because a lot of y'all, I did an art thing. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Kim's Wiki page. Kim Porter, when she passed away, Diddy went on a whole spree using it for attention. Kim Porter had a working Wiki page. I mean a Wikipedia page. I know there's stuff called Wikidata, Wikilink. Those aren't Wiki pages. Those are just random websites that are run by people that you pay, that Simon Gabodia pays $65, and they'll put whatever you want. They'll say that you were related to Gandhi, Einstein, Queen Elizabeth, and whoever else you want. Okay? Now here's the thing. Kim Porter used to have a Wiki page. It looks like the Wiki page got pulled down the day Diddy settled with Cassie. I have receipts, because some of y'all were like, I just checked. Her Wiki page is up. It is not up. Wiki info is not Wikipedia. Let me throw this stuff up on the Summer Jam screen so y'all can feel me though, right? Actually, can I share a screen? Hey, what's up, Kelsey K? Thank you so much for the super sticker. What's up, guys, right? Listen, Queen Bmar said, sorry I'm late. I had to gather a bitch. Listen, it happens. It happens. Usually it's me when I'm in the supermarket. But all jokes aside, Kim Porter's Wikipedia page is down. It was pulled down. People are saying Puffy pulled it down. And it went down the day that he settled with Cassie. I've always maintained, I know y'all were like, Tisa, stop repeating yourself, but I've always maintained Diddy, and I've said this in a lot of my videos, go watch them. They're actually pretty good. Diddy, right? Diddy, we live in America. When it comes to civil trials, then usually the person with money has the upper hand. Do you know how hard it is in America to prove, do you know how hard it is in America to actually prove, right? Prove SA or grape or especially if you have a long-term partner, it's been going for a long time, and you leave them and come back. Do you know how hard it is to prove? Do you know that when somebody has that much money, they can hire the best lawyers and bankrupt you? Do you know that Puffy could have countersued her for lies, defamation, blah, 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 blah? She could have gotten off. I mean, he could have gotten off, and Cassie would have been bankrupt, less than bankrupted. And if you think that fairness makes you a victor in court, please grow up. We live in America. The person with more money usually gets the fair trial. Let's be real, because they have better lawyers and people believe them and blah, 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 blah. Right? Who would believe someone going against Diddy? But remember, Kanye said, yo, Diddy feds. You the feds. Remember when Kanye was like, don't come near me, Diddy. I don't want no problem. And we were all like, oh my God, Kanye's having another episode. Somebody come get this man. Remember when all that was happening? Y'all, I'm now beginning to think that Kanye was 100% right. Now let's pull up this Wiki page, shall we? The Wiki page. Let me see. Can I share this with y'all? Or am I going to have to pull it up on my screen? I don't want y'all to see what I've been shopping for in Revolve. You know, my contract, I'm like my contract, Revolve. I always have a shopping cart opened. I never press purchase. So it is what it is. Okay. Now, when you go to Diddy's page, or even when you search Kim Porter, okay, on Wikipedia, what comes up? As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. Hold on. I'm going to describe it why I'm doing it. So when you search Kim Porter, Wikipedia. Where are we at? Okay. When you search Kim Porter Wikipedia, can you guys see that? When you search it, what's the first thing you guys see? Immediately what comes up is Sean Combs. Wikipedia again, Sean Combs. Then you get something called wikidata.org. That is not a wiki page. A wiki page is a page that the public makes for you, usually when you pass away, when you die. Wikidata is just to say that you died and there was some way you were mentioned in popular pop culture. It has nothing to do with the actual Wikipedia, if that makes any sense. Can you guys see the screen or no? I see a couple of you guys saying you can't. Can you? You can't see? All right, hold on. Let me airdrop this. 1 second. I'll airdrop it to myself. My whole point of the matter is when you go down to the links, you actually see, let me try one more time. When you actually scroll down, it's going to be on the screen in a second. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Do you guys see? All right. You see, right? When you type in Kim Porter Wikipedia page, anybody that has a Wikipedia should be able to see that. Kim Porter Wikipedia page, correct? What's the first thing? When you used to do that, what came up was Kim Porter. Her death was on TMZ. It was in People. Puffy relaunched his career. Everybody knew this woman passed away. Kim Porter already had a Wikipedia page. But now when you put in Kim Porter Wikipedia, what do you see? You see Sean Combs, don't you? Right? Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just see if I can blow this up a little bit bigger for you guys, because I swear I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, that's as big as I can make it. Y'all gonna have to deal with this. This is as big as I can make it, all right? So When you search, you usually see something or other, right? Hey, what's up, Familia? Kim, what's up from Nashville, Tennessee? Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Okay, so let me get to the point, right? Kim used to have a Wikipedia page. Now, as you guys, some of you guys like to tell me, I searched. Her Wikipedia is still under no. This is wikidata.org, right? This is wikidata.org. Look at this right there. Wikidata.org is not a wiki page. Wikidata is just a database that you existed. Something was written about you. You somehow existed. Kim Porter, American actress, right? It has also her known names. Again, this is nothing but a database. It's not a wiki page. But when you get into statements, instances of 0, sex or gender, oh, she's female. Country of residency, United States. Birth name, Kimberly and Antoine. What is this? Antoinette? Antoinette? Porter. Given name, Kimberly. Family name, date of birth, place of birth. Okay, that's cool, but this ain't a wiki page. Unmarried partner, Albie Shore, Sean Combs, correct? Again, look at this. The statement has the children. It's very, very bare bones. Look at this right here. This is the Wikipedia. The Wikipedia is where people can actually talk about things that happened in your life. Again, Wikidata means you existed at one point, but there is no wiki page for you. Look at this. Wikipedia, 0 entries. Wiki News, 0 entries. Wiki Source, Wiki Voyage, multilingual sites, Wiki Books, Wiki Quote, Wikiversity, and Wiktionary. Nothing. There used to be an entry for Kim. If you guys want to juxtapose that, with what a Wikipedia page actually looks like, let's go to Diddy's Wikipedia page, because you know that when you ask like, oh, Kim Porter Wikipedia, it now takes you to Diddy's page. Now, somebody said, how could Diddy do that? Does he even have the power to do that? Again, I'm getting into it. What is Diddy feds? Again, can you get somebody's page pulled down? If you're just like, oh, this is insensitive to death, I honestly don't know. I know that she used to have a page and it shut down on or around when Cassie settled with Diddy. Okay. Let me just keep going down and say thanks for my super chat. 1 second, guys. Because we're getting somewhere. Because you're going to flip out when you hear this. I swear. All right. MÖTlÂTl0Ñ says some editor wants to delete the page and have it redirected to Sean Combs. Y'all can participate in the deletion discussion and vote to not delete it. Thank you very much. I did not know that. Okay. Look at Sean Combs. This is what a Wikipedia page looks like, you guys. Do you see how there's articles, there's talk, born, other names, occupation, there's a picture, early life, career, Puff Daddy, No Way Out, blah, 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 right? Then they get into, let's not forget that Kim was not just the mother of Puffy's children. Kim was an actress before she met Puff. Kim was has a baby with Albie Shore. So she dates celebrity men. Kim also was a fashion model. Kim did stuff that would be notable, not for that Wikidata thing. But look at this, guys. Look at the family history, right? He's the father of 7 children. Look at these hyperlinks. Misa Hilton got a hyperlink, right? UCLA does. We have all this stuff. Cassie has a hyperlink, right? Misa Hilton Brim, and look at this. Everybody listed in here has a hyperlink. Everybody, except for one person, Kim Porter. Kim Porter's hyperlink that used to be here has been removed. So when you guys say, right? Let's go into personal life. That's easy, right? Here we go. 5 months of the birth of his twins, Combs had a daughter born to Sarah Chapman. Sarah Chapman, I don't think she's ever been in the news aside from being the mother of Puffy's child, so she wouldn't have a hyperlink. Plus, Sarah always tried to stay like in the cut, right? But Quincy actually was. Look at this. This used to be hyperlinks. Combs had an on-again, off-again relationship with Kimberly Porter. which lasted from 1994 to 2007. Look, there's an annotation, baby times for these two of these couples, but it's been renewed. Quincy has a link. The pneumonia has a link. Everybody Cassie has a link. Misa Hilton Brim has a link. So where's Kim's link? And why was Kim's link removed? Why was Kim's link removed after he settled with Cassie? Well, I have a few theories, okay? I'm putting together like this little like expose thing. I'm going to drop it tomorrow, okay? I'm going to drop it tomorrow, but I want you guys to know today because it has a twist, a plot ending that you didn't see coming. But let me just give you a little. Cassie, I believe she didn't have a good chance to win that Puffy suit with all Puffy's money. That's why everybody was so surprised that she actually filed. When she won and settled 24 hours, it confirmed a lot of things to people that know anything about law. Again, these are suspicions and speculation. My channel is nothing but speculation. But let me tell you what I'm thinking, and you let me know if you agree with me or if you think different. All right. Here's the thing. Kim, Cassie, Puffy, Kimora Lee Simmons, and a lot of people are tied together. And when Kanye says that he might be feds, I don't know if he is, but he's starting to look like the Black Epstein to me. Kim Porter died under mysterious circumstances, right? She had pneumonia, all this stuff. What if I told you that those circumstances were even more gruesome and more mysterious than you could know? We're going to come back to that. You know, I love a good cliffhanger. All right. I'm putting it together for the video tomorrow, but let's talk about Cassie really, really quickly. Okay. Because Cassie kind of shows what actually is going on. I have to read you a little bit from the article for those of you guys that don't know what's going on, just so I can make sure that everybody's on the same page. Okay. If you guys don't know, Diddy demanded that Cassie get a job on her chest. The reason he demanded that, I believe, is because he was trying to turn her into a J-Lo clone. She already naturally looked like a mixture between J-Lo and Misa Hilton Brim. I think he wanted Cassie's body to look more like J-Lo, especially back in the day. J-Lo's body was top tier. It still is, right? However, this is what you guys need to know. Diddy pressured Cassie to get those blank, only to demand she reverse the surgery the next day, despite health risks, because he felt they were too big. But that's not the gag. That's horrible. It's disgusting. It's everything, but it's not the gag, right? Now, the source sounds like they work for the doctor because they said the only people in the room were Diddy and Cassie. I don't see why they would have an assistant there. Plus, if it was an assistant, however, doctors always have to have a nurse and a medical assistant in the room because they don't want any accusations of impropriety. So somebody witnessed, right? Now get this. They said Cassie had her when Diddy first went in to get Cassie's surgery, he was like really, really hyped. He's like, all right, bet. Let's go, right? And he went and he talked to the doctor. He was in the room with Cassie, and the woman that was there was the source, man or woman, was really, really concerned because they said Cassie didn't do anything. She just kind of sat there like a shell of a person. She had no opinion for what should have been happening in her body. Diddy wanted the size, he wanted to stay. And listen, Dr. Ryan, he was a celebrity plastic surgeon, was really, really, really geeked to do it. Because you know how it is. Look at Dr. Armani or Armand or whatever his name is that does the Kardashians. When you do a celebrity and you do a good job, that means your business is about to blow up. So he was like, all right, bet. Yes, let's do it. Cassie went to the surgery. Everything was fine. She got sent home. Here's where things get weird. Okay. Diddy saw Cassie when she got home and lost his ever-loving mind. He literally popped up at the office and told the guy, yo, what is going on? These are too big. This isn't what I asked for. This gotta come out. He was threatening. He was in the guy's face. The guy was flustered. The doctor, this is Dr. Ryan, was flustered. Literally, the source said Diddy thought they could go right back into surgery, like right now, to take him out. Cassie had just left surgery, not even 10 hours before. Not even 10 hours before. And he wanted her to march back in and get them readjusted because they weren't to his liking. Dr. Ryan was like, no way. He tried to explain, you got to wait at least 3 months. She had just been opened up. This is dangerous. You can get infection. You can get sepsis. If you rip it open, they might not heal right. It could be scar tissue. There's so many things that could happen. Diddy didn't care. He was like, yo, they got to come out. Call who you need to call. They got to come out. Now get this. This is the part that I'm like, yo, does Diddy, is he feds? Does he have an angel of death? Because the doctor eventually ended up taking them out. He literally, because Diddy got so upset and was making such a ruckus. You know what Diddy, when he get mad, it's the Thuggers Ruggers Ball. It's the Thuggers Ruggers Ball. Okay, fine, right? But you just hear bone thugs. And then usually when Diddy's around, you hear boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You hear Crossroads, right? Anyway, so anyway, they said the calculus changed when Puffy, because this girl didn't want to talk about it. The calculus changed when Cassie actually sued Puffy. And this person that's giving the source to an actual accredited newspaper is saying that she was willing to join Cassie and testify because what she saw that he did actually shocked her. All right. She said, I never thought Cassie would ever come forward to talk about this. Even though Cassie only put a few things in her complaint, apparently everybody that knew her knew that it was just like Monsters Ball in that piece, right? She said that, hold on, let me just get back to this. She said, I've always been traumatized myself by what I saw Cassie go through. To me, watching this, it was just cruel. It was horrible. She was treated like a rat. It was literally like her voice was snatched and there was nothing she could do. That if she started standing up for herself, she'd be in trouble. She knew to keep quiet and go along with whatever Puffy was saying. Oh, it's not over. It's not over. So she said that Puffy was in there literally cursing out the doctor, getting really, really bold, getting really, really aggressive. This happened in 2009. Diddy had done nearly all the talking during the consultation. It was him talking about what he wanted. She was like his doll, like a dress-up doll. She had a flat chest. He said he wanted a full shape, sexy, but not too big. Again, I think he wanted J-Lo's. I think, and that's the thing. I think before Cassie, Diddy was obsessed with J-Lo, and I think he was trying to make Cassie into J-Lo. Hold on, I'm getting into the plot twist. Hold on. She said, usually men act like, oh my God, I just want her to be happy. This is the source saying it when they know they really want it for themselves. Okay, fine. Now get this. Men are usually kind of quiet in these consultations. It was out of the ordinary that he was doing all the talking and she wasn't saying anything. She was more like a Stepford wife, agreeable, amiable, but very quiet. Now, he was quiet to have, the doctor was super happy to have Diddy there, okay? He was in artistry mode. He charged Diddy $16,000. He was super proud of the outcome, but the results left Diddy furious. The next day, he wanted to meet Dr. Ryan and discuss having the blanks removed for a smaller size. Okay. Dr. Ryan flipped out because Puffy was being so aggressive, so rude, so weird, so just not even caring that the doctor called this witness in. She said he wanted me there. He needed some support. He thought there would be strength in numbers without me helping him navigate through this. But Diddy just blew up even further. They said it was a day after surgery and Cassie looked like she was in pain. The doctor was shocked and seemed like he was going to pee his pants. Like, what am I going to do with this? Again, Diddy was like in his face. He was trying to hold his ground that this was never going to happen, assuring him that we can get to that desired result, but we need time. The doctor was saying, like, there's a lot of swelling down, but that'll go down. You're seeing a lot of swelling. It's a lot of fluid. It's going to go down. Listen, Puffy didn't care. He was like, no, they got to come out. Meanwhile, Cassie's sitting in the corner crying her eyes out because she has to go under therapy. I mean, not under therapy. She has to go back in for whatever. And it was already painful enough. Here's the thing, which lets you think, what is Puffy into? First thing that's a red flag. The doctor succumbed to the pressure. A plastic surgeon to the stars that is accredited through the United Medical Board or whatever literally agreed to remove implants out of a newly operated on patient, all because the boyfriend was getting in his face. Like Puffy said, I don't care who you gotta call, you better have it now. The doctor was so nervous. He said, okay, I'll get my team together and we'll take them out. We'll do a smaller size. The doctor said he felt bad for her and it was sad. It was just so sad. And while all this was going on, Cassie was not talking at all. She was crying. She was visibly traumatized, but she wasn't saying anything at all. She was just going along with whatever he said. She wasn't advocating for herself, for her boobs at all. And Diddy was not comforting Cassie at all. Privately, Dr. Ryan told me it was a mutilation. But again, you guys wonder why, not y'all, but people wonder why Cassie didn't leave. Cassie didn't do this. It was a mutilation of the fact that he could go in to a high-powered plastic surgeon and have him break every ethical oath he had. Every ethical oath he had. Just because he wanted something that looked, in my opinion, look more like J-Lo's. He didn't even give Cassie time to heal. He didn't even give Cassie time for the painkillers to kick in. She said, the witness said, Diddy wasn't comforting her at all. Privately, Dr. Ryan told me this was mutilation, that I can't even believe this. He was saying, poor Cassie, this is awful, but yet he still went along with this. This gives you a drop of Puffy's power and the way Puffy ruled it. All right. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, Tisa, where's these deleted doctors you're talking about? Well, one of them would be Dr. Ryan, because the doctor rushed to get supplies and the team together and performed the follow-up surgery within a week. So he performed it like within 5 days. If you guys don't know, that's a big thing, because every time you have surgery, they have to special order anesthesia. They have to do this, sanitation. There's all these steps and procedures. That's why surgery is scheduled. The fact that they rushed it so much, and that they also had to get the team in to do it. They're not just sitting around like, do. No. It's all booked in advance. Hey, we'll see you the 19th to 20th, and then we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next year. It's all booked in advance. The fact that he called somebody in, he felt that he was being threatened. The fact that he thought, this is mutilation. I can't believe I'm doing this. What did he know about Puffy, and what was Puffy doing to him? Why didn't he call the police? Why did everybody that ran in Hollywood circles think or feel or know that Puffy was so untouchable? Why? Okay. Again, so when you're saying, so the lady said, I'm not surprised her body was not her own at all, because in that moment I witnessed it was not her body. It was his body, to be dressed up and enhanced the way he wanted. If somebody doesn't respect somebody's body being cut up, I can't imagine he cared much about her or for her body in every other area of life. She deserves to have agency over her body and reclaim that dignity that was lost in that relationship for whatever she endured. Now, here's the thing. What happened to Cassie was horrible. It was also illegal. It was also literally an episode from a scene from Taken with Liam Neeson, in my opinion. It was. But you know what is also really weird, right? That doctor, when people reached out to him to see where he was and to see if he had any comments on what Diddy did, you know what found out about that? That doctor's not alive. Yeah, the doctor's not alive. The doctor died almost a year to that day. He died almost a year to that day. Do you know how he died? It was a freak accident. See, he was driving, I believe, in Malibu. You know, Malibu, the roads go up there. Everybody knows. You guys been on, if you haven't, the Pacific Coast Highway, it's beautiful. There's only 2 lanes. You know, sometimes it gets like a little steep, but it's safe for the most part. The doctor mysteriously passed away after this incident with Diddy and Cassie, and he's the only person that can speak about what was happening. And also, the doctor felt threatened. The doctor, for whatever reason, chose to almost throw away his medical license to perform a surgery that literally could have gotten him disbarred. That's how serious it is. The doctor, because Diddy was putting pressure on him, according to the source, performed it. It was proof of Diddy's abuse. It was proof that maybe Cassie was telling the truth about being trafficking around the Rosie. It was a proof of a lot of stuff. Also, Puffy's anger that her tatas didn't look like J-Lo's. I'm guessing it was J-Lo, but he just didn't like it. So what happened? Well, the doctor passed away. He was going at the what was it? Is it the Pacific Coast Highway? Let me make sure because I don't want to get this one wrong. So he was in California. He was driving. Where are we at? Okay. Anyway, he was driving. And while he was driving in Malibu, he decided to text. If anybody's ever driven on those roads, there's no way. But apparently, he was so consumed with texting on roads that went like this that he accidentally drove off a cliff. The doctor that Diddy said some things to him and did some things to the point of he felt like he had no choice but to throw away his own medical career to perform a surgery for Cassie, drove off a cliff almost a year later in a mysterious accident. What is it about Diddy that everybody he's around and everybody that witnesses his foolery and everybody that threatens to tell drives off cliffs? Yeah, you guys. Somebody said you can find her page, the Quincy Brown's Wiki. It's not much, but it's there. It's under his parents. Again, thank you guys. Find her page under Quincy's. So basically the links for Kim's page have all been rerouted to Diddy's page for some reason, but they forgot to remove the link under Quincy's Wiki. Ooh, somebody getting fired or worse. Somebody, whoever did it, y'all better hurry up and fix it because somebody about to get fired from life because you know that's the way Puffy roll. People around him get fired from life. I'm just saying. So what do y'all think about this, right? Oh my God, you guys, there's only 105 likes in here. Can y'all please? There is 3,244 people in here. Can y'all hit that like button? I can't believe it. Again, the doctor who Puffy had beef with. And please believe that conversation was more in depth than we got to do it. And a successful plastic surgeon decides to give up all his morals and ethics to fix some psycho who doesn't understand that getting your chest done the day after is going to have swelling. And that's not the final thing. The doctor's car ran off a cliff. Dr. Ryan and Kid Cudi's car blew up. And Kid's Cudi car blew up. Now, what if I told you there was a second doctor? What if I told you there's a second doctor that passed away? And what if I told you it was the same thing? They were saying something that Puffy didn't like. I'm still doing research on that. I swear to God, I'm going to drop that story. I swear. But again, it's crazy to me. So we have two doctors. I'll drop the story about the other one tomorrow. I'm just waiting for confirmation before I actually say anything. We have two doctors gone. We have people acting out a character. We have Kim Porter's Wiki page that all the links have been removed except for someone forgot to remove the link from Quincy's parents to Kim Porter's. So basically, whenever you put Kim Porter's Wikipedia, it goes to Sean Diddy's Combs Wikipedia. They removed the links in all the pages and you can only find her with Quincy. However, like somebody said, if we vote enough, right? If we vote enough, her page will be restored, unprivated. The links will stand on their own. Again, like the Brown Blossom said, you can find her page under Quincy Brown's Wiki. It's not much, but it's there. It's underneath her parents. Again, that Wiki page, it might be going to Wiki Facts. Wiki Facts is just saying you exist and you were somehow in pop culture. That's not the same as a Wiki page. Again, why would Puffy pull Kim Porter's? Now, let's think about this. Cassie's doctor with a mysteriously, a highway he drove off a cliff in the middle of the day. He was not inebriated. He was not drinking. There was no narcotics in the system. He just magically drove off a cliff. He knew dirt on Puffy. Kid Cudi, who dare even look at Cassie. The car was blown up in his driveway. There were text messages. Cassie had proof. All that mess happened. No charges were filed. The LAMF and PD showed up to a residential house with a car that was on fire. The fire department showed up to put out a car that was on fire. And nobody asked any questions. Nobody said who did this. And it's not like Kid Cudi keeps his mouth shut. Kid Cudi is messy, but this is where messy works out. Kid Cudi didn't keep his mouth shut. So what happened? Police said, that's odd. And they looked the other way. Why is it that so many things happen to Puffy and he is constantly getting off of either a slap on the wrist or people look the other way? I really ask of you, why? Flavia Parker Pitt, thank you so much for joining the channel. I really appreciate that, Mama. Thank you. Shout out to Flavia Parker Pitt. Let me just put you up on the Summer Jam Squee. Thank you so much for joining and being a member and supporting me. I am going to start doing some member-only lives this month. Page 57 said Puffy and R. Kelly have a lot of narc abusive similarities, waiting for someone to talk about it from the sunglasses on down. Let's talk about it. My homegirl Hiller said, my thumbs up was waiting on you at the door, Tisa. I know that's right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But let's get into also, when I say that Diddy, right? So we had Cassie's mutilation. And like the doctor said, it was a mutilation. He's dead, right? Drove off cliff. We have Kim Porter. Her book, she's gone. Her Wiki page, for whatever reason, does not show up. It is buried. It only links to Diddy's page. Why? Kim Porter had 7 kids. She was never married to Diddy. Why, when you put in Kim Porter Wiki, how come none of her kids' pages come up? How come Quincy's page? How come? If you guys don't know, you can actually pay Google to redirect things to pages, especially if you say you have ownership of it. You can actually pay Google, right? That when you do searches, like say I put like, I don't know, I want like pink Korean hot dogs, you know, like the Korean cheese dogs. I want pink Korean cheese dogs, right? You can pay Google that, no. My sites come up when you search that. You can pay Google to show up higher in ranking. Now, here's the thing. I believe that Diddy, some way or somehow, actually had ownership of Kim's Wiki page. Because here's the thing. Wikipedias are public domain. They are. However, the people that start the Wikipedias, that start them, have the ability to shut them down. We've seen that a lot of time with fan accounts, right? Fan accounts will start a Wikipedia page. They don't like the way that the star is moving, and the person that owned that Wikipedia page will shut it down. Now, usually with fan accounts, the fan accounts will come back. Like another fan will start a new Wiki page, and then they'll be on Reddit and Twitter and be like, yo, hit it up, and then they'll follow again. So it's no problem, because the whole point of Wiki pages is to be Googleable. But the people that set up Wiki pages can also be the ones that either pull them down or redirect. Now, Diddy was so obsessed with Cassie that he looked after her health, her wellness, her thing. He looked at her OBGYN. He literally, that was his body. That's the way he treated her. I'm sure he was the same way with Kim Porter. I'm sure that when Kim decided to start a Wiki page, because don't forget, Wiki is pretty new, right? Last 10 years, Wiki really blew up. I'm really sure that Puffy wanted control of that. I'm pretty sure that Puffy set up the Wiki page for her, because if Puffy is that controlling, you my girl, you my woman, like I need you representing me. And Puffy actually took over. So, right? Somebody said, Tisa, I just did a deep dive on Carisha's IG, and she's always wearing whiter nails or really, really light pink. That's almost white. Scary. You know, Marquita, it is scary, but let me just say this, right? I feel really, really bad. I mean, incredibly bad for anyone that thinks, because I'm not gonna lie, I went on vacation. I know what y'all saying. I'm always on vacation. I went on vacation in August, and the manicure. I didn't know. I hadn't even packed yet, and you know, my boyfriend's like, he is obsessed with only having a carry-on. I get a carry-on, and then I get like my little bag that sits on top of the carry-on. And that's it. If not, we're gonna have problems. He hates going to baggage, whatever. He takes me a lot of places. It's God, he's insane, right? But you know how it is with men. They can use like a carry-on. So I've tried to like spruce it up. You know, I'm gonna make an extra large carry-on. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But at the end of the day, I didn't know what I was packing. So I was just like, she was like, what color? What color? You know, after they've done cleaning your cuticles and all this stuff, they're like, what color do you want? Like, stop playing. We've been asking you for the last 20 minutes. And I can't think of anything. So I said, I'll just do white. Because I figured, you know, skin gets like, you know, nice and dark. The white nails make it pop. And I said, that's safe because all my summer stuffs go with white. Girl, Diddy just ruined white nails for everyone. White nails has had the Black community in a chokehold for the last 3 years. And Diddy's trifling butt ruined it. Oh, that makes me hate him for everything. You ruined it. You had me in a chokehold and you ruined it. Listen, I'm just saying. He ruined it. Puffy ruined it. So anyway, let's get into this because this is all I want to say, right? Oh, who's this? Hold on. What's up, Jamie? Trey said, whatever happened to that football coach he beat? Oh, you beat me to it, y'all. Let's get into the New York Times, because here's the thing. A lot of people have been like, yo, Diddy, I don't know. Is Diddy going to beat this? Okay, a lot of people are me. I'm like, I don't know. Is Diddy going to beat this? Is Diddy going to beat this? Let me tell y'all something, right? I really honestly do think, let me just put tags in here. I really honestly do think that when you say, is Diddy going to beat this? Yesterday, I was like, well, yo, or even this morning, I was like, yo, he hired a PR person. He's doing what he needs to do. Maybe he can climb out of this. People got short memories, right? People still cap for R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, even though I will say the only thing between that, and somebody had a good point. The reason why R. Kelly was able to beat this, and this is just my opinion, is because R. Kelly still made music. R. Kelly still, like, people like to bop to his mess. When it comes to Diddy, his music's been like really, really, really irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Even Bill Cosby had the Cosby Show, so he was like living in people's hearts, not my hearts, but people's hearts. Bill Cosby had the Cosby Show, those reruns before they pulled them down. So there was that too, right? All right. So here's the thing, right? The New York Times, I'm sorry, page 6, which is the gospel of New York society. They print gossip, like I said, but their gossip is usually very, very verified. They did an in-depth expose about all the mess that Puffy was into. And y'all, let me read y'all some of this because, oof, it ain't safe. It's just not good for him. All right. So the New York Times actually said that Puffy has been terrorizing people since the beginning of time, and they bought out the receipts. They even bought up the time that Puffy beat. So, you know, Justin was playing for UCLA. I think he left UCLA, right? He was playing football. He left UCLA. Everybody's like, why'd he leave? It came out that his football coach had been yelling at Justin during practice. Puffy picked up a kettlebell, those the weights, dumbbells, but they got like a curve on them instead of like the straight. He picked up a kettlebell and beat down that coach in the head with a kettlebell, all because he was yelling at Justin. A football coach was telling, a football coach was like, hustle, hustle, you can do better. Diddy is a GD sociopath. But here's my whole point about was Kanye right? Is Diddy the feds? Because why didn't he get arrested for that? Why weren't there charges pressed for that? Why is it that every single time he gets in trouble with the law slaps him? The law slaps him on his hands and then he lets him go. Y'all, let me read from this article. And I'm going to do the dramatic rendition. I'm going to do it. This is, hold on, let me pull this up. But what do y'all honestly think about that? Do you even think that it's actually safe? They said that he has been terrorizing people forever. Let's get into this. The New York Page 6, everybody in New York City is reading this, said Diddy's shocking history of alleged violence against those who won't bend to his will. They go through the Cassie shit, blah, 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 blah. We're going to have to get into, hold on. Let's skip to the good stuff. So they talk about the Cassie stuff. They said everyone in the music industry knows about Diddy's insidious past. This is a source. I think many were shocked at the level of detail exposed via Cassie, but mostly shocked it's taken this long to come out. They said Cassie rang the bell. Aubrey O'Day said, been trying to tell y'all. And I do want to say this before I get into this, right? Everybody sits there and gives Cassie a hard time because she didn't rock through and have the lawsuit of the century. And, I would have loved it. It would have been great content because I would have flown to sit in that trial court. But I do want to say this. Even Page 6 is saying that everybody in the music industry was scared of Puffy for good reason. We're about to read why. So if that was true and everybody was scared of Puffy, do you know how much courage it took for Cassie to actually step foot on the battleground and go to war with Puffy? Cassie went and stood 10 toes down. Men can't even stand 10 toes down with Puff. His peers won't even stand. Cassie, who got 2 children and a husband that loved and supported her and had her back, literally did what the whole music industry, what all of New York, and what even the New York Post wouldn't do. And that was expose Diddy. Now that Cassie finally exposed him, everybody wants to, hey, Linda, thank you so much for joining the membership. Thank you. Now that Cassie said it, even the New York Post want to scurry behind her. Oh, Page 6. Oh, we heard this. We heard that. But before that, everybody was on mute. So before people be like, oh, what about the victims? Don't fall for that cap. Cassie is a victim, but she had more courage than everybody. And the fact that he had a whole city on mute, New York and LA, please. Somebody said, allegedly, Diddy is Clive Fed Davis's Muppet. I would believe it. Job for 9 said, hold on. Job for 9 said, let's show this, said, I watched from the bushes, yet I had to come out when you said exactly what I'm thinking. He's working with the feds. Let me read this article because when I get to the bottom of it, Job for 9, baby, you won't believe it's the feds because it don't make any sense. Planet Azrael said, thank you so much for the super chat. And Job for 9 too. Thank you for the super chat. Said, bad boy under Epic and Sony. Why didn't they say a word yet? Because she was an employee. Bigger than Diddy. What black man has that much power? Epic and Sony are protecting him. Listen, now will I... Oh, and now they're maybe going to sacrifice him and let him take the fall in the end? I mean, listen, it makes sense. And again, you know what makes me so mad about this? Y'all always be in my comments talking about something. It's the Illuminati. And I swear to always be like, shut up. Ain't no Illuminati. No Illuminati. And now that this Puffy stuff, I'm like, is there an Illuminati? Because something looking real strange. Anyway, let's get back into the Puffy thing, right? So, okay, so this is a good place to start. So Diddy's lawyer said that there's absolutely no truth to any of this. And just because it was a thing settled doesn't mean there's any guilt. So page 6 says, but it's hardly the first time Combs has been affiliated with violence. In December 1991, yes, baby, they went back years, right? December 1991, when Puffy was 22 and an intern at Uptown Records, the tone was set for some of the violence that would follow him throughout his career. When a charity basketball game he was overseeing with rapper Heavy D turned into a stampede that murked 9 people. I think just as many people passed away from asteroid as did the stampede. Again, I said, okay, so he got the angel of death around him, but it gets worse. A judge ruled that Heavy D and Diddy, who were responsible for the tragedy, a judge said they were guilty. Okay? But he was guilty. But though the ruling had no legal effect on Diddy or Heavy D, Puffy later settled with at least one injured survivor. Even though Puffy's lawyer at the time said what? What did he say? What did he say? Guess. He said, it remains clear that Nicole Levy's case is without merit. That's what Puffy's lawyer at that time, Luke Patoni, said. Beginning to sound familiar? Oh, it's more. They said Puffy burst on the hip hop scene in the mid-90s when it was dominated by a deadly feud between East Coast and West Coast artists, reaching a tragic peak in the 1996 murder of Pac. Y'all remember that, followed by the murder of Notorious Big. According to Gene Dill, who was Diddy's bodyguard at the time, all right, Puffy was also, as you remember, Biggie's best friend, and he signed him to Bad Boy record label. He was also Biggie's boss, and he was also in charge of making sure that Biggie had adequate security. Okay? Peace, love, prayer said, is Orlando Brown talking? He was the male Cassie. Yo, you know what? No lie. Now I see why Orlando Brown lost his ever-loving mind. If he was the female Cassie, I see. And side note, before I get into this, it also makes me look at Wendy Williams, a different, like, don't get me wrong, right? We know Wendy from like Wendy. But when I did some research, Wendy Williams used to be vile. She used to out people. She called the hospital to find out that Method Man's wife had cancer. She told all of New York that Method Man's wife had cancer before Method Man even knew. It was vile. Wendy would be on some grimy mess back then. It wasn't even funny. It was just like vile. However, everybody talks about why don't you just leave Kevin Hunter, and Wendy's hopped up on pills. It seems like that's what these powerful, it seemed like there was something in the culture that these powerful New York men would keep their women roped up and doped up, and also so they could exploit them. Kevin Hunter was doing it to Wendy. Diddy was doing it to Cassie. Russell Simmons was doing it to Kimora Lee. I'm just saying, passing people around. I see why everybody was popping pills, baby. They were trying to keep their sanity. Anyway, Miriam said, thanks so much for this excellent deep dive analysis, Tisa. I speculate Diddy has assassins on the payroll. Much love from London, UK. That's cool. I don't live in New York. Anyway, right? And Diddy, you got money to pay those assassins? Anyway, right? According to Gene, right? Diddy could have ended up deleted in the drive-by shootings that deleted Biggie. He said, now I went because I knew that somebody was going to blank that night. So they walked in there knowing that somebody was going to be deleted tonight, right? They literally had Biggie playing Notorious, armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us, straight up big and notorious, tie up weed and okay, shut up. I had to have my moment, right? Anyway, right? Notorious, bingo, armed and dangerous. Okay, right? Anyway, so he walked in that piece saying, somebody's going to die. Somebody is going to get, right? He knew it. He said, I did everything in my power to stop it from being Diddy. It wasn't Diddy. The people that was bodyguarding Big didn't do everything in their power to stop it from being big. And that hurts me, even though it wasn't my principal. Let's not forget, Puffy hired Diddy hired Biggie's bodyguards. Everybody that walked in there knew that there was going to be murder on the dance floor. Okay, fine, I'll stop. I just keep seeing this music video play out, but everybody knew that it was murder, murder, right? That's the last time I'll do it. So if everybody knew it, why didn't he have Biggie have adequate security? Okay, now get this. In 1999, Diddy was not held, like nothing happened. In 1991, let's not also forget that Diddy's side was also like shooting back. They wasn't just ducking for cover. Black men in the 90s shooting up the club. There's a dead body on the floor. Nobody got arrested, not even for friendly fire. Nobody even got arrested for defense. Does that sound like the NYPD we know? And that was during the Giuliano era. From what I heard, that place was like racist incorporated. That's when they were just like, you would breathe and they were like, you going to jail, right? Everybody that looked black or brown, they're like, you going to jail. Nothing happened. Y'all acting like it's the wild out west. You all young and free. Amifi said, Illuminati are not true. Power corrupts most, if not all. Amifi, or is it Amifi or Amifi? Amifi? Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Thank you for the super chat. And you're right. Illumina, I think that's when people say Illumina, they're basically saying there's a bunch of powerful people that just do what they want and literally answer to no one. You know what I'm saying? Golfing, Mom 68 said, you're spot on, Tease, about Cassie breast augmentation surgery. I went to work in the OR, and what the doctor told Diddy was absolutely correct. Most women have surgery to please their partners. That's the sad thing. That really is. Please a partner or please super partner until you like. Anyway, in 1999, Diddy apparently acted like a mafioso when he didn't get his way. This is all in page 6. They went in. He apparently acted like a mafioso when he didn't get his way, assaulting then president of Interscope Records, Steve Stoute, with a chair, a telephone, and a champagne bottle, according to prosecutors. Diddy wanted to cut a scene from a video. This is what started it. He wanted to cut a scene from a video in which he was featured in Hate Me Now by Nas, showing 2 men crucified on a cross, fearing it was blasphemous, right? But the original assault charge was dismissed by prosecutors who accepted Combs' guilty plea to a lesser charge of harassment and was sentenced to a day of anger management. Let's just rewind. You hit somebody on the head, busted his head open with a chair, a telephone, and a champagne bottle. He's lucky he's alive, right? You got a lesser charge of harassment and you were sentenced to a day of anger management. Again, at the time, the New York Post wrote, this violation is no more serious than if Combs had merely yelled across the street to Steve Stoute. The article was titled The Wheels of Friendship. The Post wrote in 1999, they were reportedly regressed, whatever, with a, that's right. Somebody just said, DeBrat busted someone in the head with a bottle in the club. And I think they might have, I forget the story, but I think they might have been harassing her. I don't know if it was just in cold blood or not, but she busted somebody in the head with just a bottle. She did years in jail. You mean to tell me in the late 90s in New York City, which was a hotbed for racism, the cops were looking for anybody black or brown to put in jail. You literally beat someone down, almost killing them. Prosecutors accept a plea charge of harassment and let you go to 1 day of anger management. Tell me this boy ain't feds. Is he starting to sound like feds? I think he's starting to sound like feds. Let's keep going. I think Puffy's starting to sound a lot like feds. Me think. Listen, Kimya, Noreen, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Kimya. Or is it Kim? Yeah, it's Kimya. Honey Drizzle said, Google search Latham versus the 1953 trust when you get the chance and connect the dots. Just because you're not on one indictment does not mean you're not. Okay, I agree with that. Thank you so much, Honey Drizzle. Everybody Google Latham versus 1953 trust. Let me shut that down because I love research. Latham. Y'all know I'm going to make a video about it tomorrow. So y'all know I'm going to make a video about this mess. Okay. Thank you so much, Honey Drizzle. I appreciate it, Mama. Okay. So they titled the article The Wheels of Friendship. This is about the Steve Stout. They wrote in 1999 that Puffy paid $500,000 to Steve Stout. But paying $500,000 to Steve Stout don't have nothing to do with the prosecutors. Why is he not underneath there? That same year, Puffy was in a club in New York in Times Square with his then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and rap protege Shine when the shooting erupted. Later that night, the group's car was stopped by the cops. And they were all charged with criminal possession of a weapon and possession of a stolen property. All three were arrested, even though, J-Lo got out like 14 hours later. Both Shine and Combs were charged in connection with the incident. Puffy, whose legal team included O.J. Simpson's future attorney, Johnny Cochran, skated. Shine was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Y'all, let's also not forget that everybody said that Shine was not set up by Puffy, but he convinced them somehow to take the rap for him. Everybody that was there was like, no, Puffy was the one acting up. Shine was just the one that caught the case. And Puffy's past, present, probably even his future, all say, I 100% believe that Puffy was the one doing all that mess. Like, you can't tell me. Anyway, right? Puffy's driver at the time, Wardell Fenderson, testified at the time that he'd been warned not to take the job because Diddy was, people told him, very arrogant, very demanding, and has a very, very hot temper and some acquaintances of a bad nature. Puffy's dad used to work for Frank Lucas, right? Just saying. Puff Daddy, as he was known then, was found not guilty and changed his name to P. Diddy. He eventually lost J-Lo for good as the couple announced their split on Valentine's Day 2001. Isn't it funny? He split from J-Lo and then he met Cassie and turned her into the new J-Lo. In an interview with Vibe magazine in 2003, listen to how sick this guy is. J-Lo said the romance was the first time she wasn't with someone who was not faithful to her. My, how things change. It was a simpler time. Puffy literally kicked off and everybody in that mug started cheating on J-Lo. What a simpler time. Anyway, she said, I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts. It really took my whole life into a tailspin. Sounds like he was emotionally abusing her. Also, maybe he was gaslighting, maybe it was narc abuse, right? She said, I never caught him, but I just knew. She says that she and Diddy split so often that he didn't believe it when she left him for good in February 2001. Sounds a lot like Cassie. I had to think, do I want to be home with kids in 10 years wondering where somebody is at 3 a.m? It makes me think whether he put his hands on J-Lo. And I know J-Lo doesn't want to admit it. She's been through the ringer. She's going through the ringer right now with Ben. But things to make you go home. Okay, so anyway, right? They said, Jennifer says that she and Diddy used to argue. Also in 1999, get this. This is another one that made me think, boy, you are the MF and feds, right? In 1999, there was a Detroit talk show host, okay? His name was Rogelio Mills. Do y'all remember this story? Because I didn't even know about this story. I had to research, but it's a real story, right? So it's somebody called Rogelio Mills. He alleged that Diddy and his entourage assaulted him after he asked about rumors linking him to Biggie's death. They were in a radio station. They were interviewing Diddy. They were in the studio. He asked him like, yo, what's going on with this? Blah, 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 blah. Not even in a disrespectful way. Just like, yo, do you want to come out and say something? You want to deny it? Diddy launched at him at work. On the stand, asked by his attorney what happened. This is the crazy part. When he was asked by his attorney, yo, like, what happened? Okay. Do you know what Puff said? Somebody guess. Anyone? He said he doesn't remember. He said that he just blacked out. He said this man got accosted and beat up at his work for asking a question. And he said he doesn't remember, but it's not over. He went on and said, I just remember ending the interview. He literally said that he blacked out. The jury ruled in favor of Diddy, a decision that was upheld on appeal. A 2004 New York Magazine profile reported that baby fat designer, you guys know this, Lee Simmons. I'm dropping a video tomorrow about Lee Simmons and Puffy, and I promise you there are twists and turns, and it's not what you think. I'm getting the last part up. I don't want to ruin it because I have to tell the whole story, and the whole story is like 20 minutes long. But whatever. She said that Puffy threatened to hit her. She said, I was pregnant, the moron. According to the story, Combs eventually got down on his knees in public to apologize, but that's only because she was married to Russell Simmons. In addition, you guys know the claims that during Paris Fashion Week in February of that year, Diddy told Cassie that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. A spokesperson for Kid Cudi told the New York Times last week, it's all true. 3 years later, this man the most this man has gotten, he's been acquitted. He never gets charged, nothing. The most he's gotten is a charge of harassment. That's somebody catcalling you across the street. And 1 day of anger management so far. Oh, it's more. 3 years later, Diddy was arrested on suspicion of assaulting his son Justin's UCLA football coach, Sam Alosi, with a deadly weapon, a kettlebell, after Alosi yelled at Justin during football practice. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. This is the same district attorney's office that literally has ASAP Rocky on trial right now because something grazed ASAP Rowley's finger. We don't know if he's telling the truth. Rowley, that case is looking real sus. Literally, at first I was like, oh my God, did ASAP do it? Then I heard Rowley's evidence. If you guys don't know what happened, he claims that he did it, right? And I was like, okay, maybe. But here's the thing that like went crazy. He immediately calls the police because there was like a graze on his finger. He claimed it was a bullet, right? It didn't touch him. It was grazed. Okay, fine. Get him. Lock him up, right? So the police came out there. There were 7 police officers. There was even a forensic expert. They quarantined, roped off that whole area looking for bullet shell fragments because they're like, you got shot. Where's the bullet? They were out there for hours looking everywhere for any type of bullet fragment. Right? They couldn't find anything. The next day, ASAP Rowley showed up at the police station with 2 shell casings for an 8mm gun. The shell casings implied that it had been sorry, my skin's ashy. I can't take it. The shell cases had been implied that, the gun had been fired. And when they asked, where'd you get these from? He said, I went back to the scene of the crime the next day after the police left. The next day, and I found 2 shell casings that 7 officers and a forensic ballistics expert couldn't find. If you guys don't know about ballistics, they're actually experts at being like, okay, so if the bullet came from this way, it could be here, here, here. Yeah, that's when I was looking at ASAP Rowley. Like, listen, I believe everybody, but I was just like, we'll see. We'll see what happens. When they said they came with 2 bullets, I was like, okay, Rowley. Anyway, right? So anyway, the Los Angeles District Attorney decided not to pursue felony assault charges. Let me repeat this. You assaulted, this is basically attempted murder, your son's football coach at UCLA with a deadly weapon, a kettlebell, all because he got yelled at during practice. On top of that, let's also not forget that after that, I think Justin left. UCLA. Probably he got kicked out. Justin left UCLA and started just like working for Diddy. And as we know, Misa Hilton Brim went crazy on Diddy. You guys hit that like button, please. I would really appreciate it so we can spread this love to so many people. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, so here we go, right? So they did all that. Now, there's more. So you know that after that, Diddy got pulled over for, I think, drunk driving or something or other. I don't know. He got pulled over for something. Misa Hilton Brim went crazy because she felt like Diddy was trying to make her son take the fall for his mess. Now I see why Misa thought that. Because at the end of the day, this is what Diddy's done to everybody in his life. So, of course, it's funny how everybody around Diddy goes down. Everybody around Diddy goes to jail. Everybody around Diddy dies. Everybody around gets charges, except for Diddy. The person that is literally handing out party favors and doing a trafficking ring around the Rosie. Then a woman who worked as a private chef for Diddy filed a sexual harassment lawsuit alleging that she was forced to serve him post blankety blank meals while he didn't have any clothes on. She also accused Diddy of not paying her for overtime. The suit was quietly settled in 2019. At the time, right? A rep for Diddy told TMZ, "This is a frivolous lawsuit by a disgruntled ex-employee who was fired for cause." At the Clive Davis 2021 pre-Grammy Gala, Diddy decided to call out the Recording Academy for a lack of acknowledgement and appreciation of rap and R&B categories. However, former Bad Boy star Mace retorted on Instagram, "Your past business practices knowingly has continued purposely to starve your artists and been extremely unfair to the very same artists that helped you obtain that icon award on the iconic Bad Boy label." Another industry source told Page Six, "People feel like Sean screwed people over. Rappers and hip hop talent view him having taken advantage of them. He was seen as a king, and there's a perception that he badly treated the princes and the princesses of the next generation." Y'all, who did Puffy piss off? I don't care what y'all say. Y'all, Kanye told the truth when he said, "F you, it," like, you feds. I thought he was like tripping. He did it. Now, somebody said, "Will Revolt be canceling the Combs reality show that they started filming at the beginning of the year? They've canceled other shows off of He Said, She Said. They better cancel that one." Do you think, here's the thing. I honestly do think in my heart of heart, I don't even think Puffy is a narcissist. I think he is a sociopath. That's my opinion. I don't know. I don't know him. Make your own opinion up. But based off of what I read and I see, Puffy seems like a stone cold sociopath. Y'all know that he really hired a high power PR team to help him through this. You know that he thinks he's going to come out from this. You know that he thinks that he is going to do something to make everybody forget. You know, the funny thing is that I'm worried about what's going to happen between him and Young Miami. You think they staying together? Now, I know what y'all saying. They all say they're each other's friends and they're together. But the thing is, that PR team is saying that Young Miami, like I said, gotta go. You need and here's the funny thing about Young Miami. I really like the City Girls. I like Young Miami, like whatever. JT, so beautiful. JT is the doll. JT is the Barbie. JT is like one of the prettiest women. You should see her in real life. JT is beautiful, right? She's a Barbie. So here's the thing, right? JT and Miami were the City Girls. The City Girls were taking over. Diddy got involved because he is salt to anybody that's growing. Sprinkle that on them, they started getting fractures. Now, I know they both have boyfriends. I know Uzi be taking JT. I get that. But the fact that Carisha became more focused on being Mrs. Diddy than her career, and that said, it's her career. I don't know. Like, you see what happens in the rap game. Maybe there's a bunch of other Diddies, and she's like, yeah, whatever. Better the devil you know. But her whole brand now is tied up in like sex, but not just like missionary, but like big video, like just like turn it off. The kids can't hear this. She got that board game, right? That's just like freaky deaky. Her podcast is all about freaky deaky. Cool. That's cool. Everybody growing and sexy. Do what you want. But even like her promoting De Leon, is she been getting paid for that? Or is she just doing it as a favor with the De Leon? But the other stuff that she's doing, she has Revolt on TV. Diddy is her boss. So I don't think she has a choice to separate from Diddy, even though, no lie, if Young Miami was really on that City Girl mess, she would sue Puffy. Cassie just said, if she was really on that come up City Girl with the bag at, if she was really on some City Girl mess, hear me now. She would sue Puffy right now. She would be like, she would literally be crying, pointing to like, everybody be like, girl, what's wrong? That's all you gotta do. Just point to the fingernails. That's all you gotta do. And we'll be like, oh my God. Arrest him. That's all you gotta do. Right? That's all she gotta do. What? Cassie came out and said, I was boop bop a boo for 10 years. Young Miami, you the current one. I know you got stories to tell. I know you got stories. I don't even care if you liked it. I don't even care if you're like, ooh, I like this. Maybe y'all meet each other. Because I always wondered, right? Puffy, Puffy's not a colorist, but he's a texturist. Puffy likes girls that look a certain way. And even though Kim Porter was darker complexion, she had like really like soft hair, so it made her look exotic. He liked girls that looked exotic with soft hair. It doesn't matter what complexion they were. He literally, there are people that will come out and say that Puffy does not like light-skinned girls that wear like weaves and wigs and whatnot, right? He likes people with soft hair. Yeah, I know he ain't ish, right? But the thing is, right? But the thing is, yes, that is true. But the thing is, right? I was thinking him in Miami, even though they don't connect on paper, they don't seem like she don't seem like his type. She must be his type in other ways. I thought it was her sparkling personality. Maybe their freakometers are on the same level. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's because, again, all that mess Cassie went through, except for the brutal beatings, but the freaky stuff, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't do it. But if you on the same lane, I guess it's like, I guess, right? This would be the perfect time for Miami to be like, yo, I too am a victim. Fuck whatever he getting you now. When I tell you, you can make it come up. That yacht can be yours. That island he got for your birthday, you can get that island 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Please, don't let her be my girlfriend. Because here's the thing. He deserves it. It couldn't have happened to a worse person. He deserves for everybody on this earth, whether they telling the truth or not, to run his pockets, because so many people have actually been victims. And on the way out, kick them in the face and say, this for Cassie, this for Kim, this for Misa, just start throwing them bows on the way out. Give them a kick. This for Gina. This for everybody. Yo, Miami. Because here's the thing. The same way Puffy ruled over Cassie, I have no doubt that he's ruling, all jokes aside, right? I have no doubt that he's ruling over Young Miami, at least financially, right? If she leaves him, does she still get to keep Carisha Please? Does she? Because maybe she did do some City Girls and she does. But if she leaves him, does she get to keep the Carisha Please? I doubt it. This is the perfect time if there's anything Puffy did to make you feel uncomfortable. Carisha, tell your story, tell your truth. But anyway, Puffy's people want Carisha gone because Puffy built a whole business around Carisha being like, freaky deaky, right? And they growing and sexy and all that stuff. De Leon, their whole image as a couple is them on the street drunk, drinking De Leon, doing this, doing that. Look at who knew that the lifestyle they were glorifying. Cassie's telling you the real lifestyle, right? So they're glorifying all this mess, looking crazy and whatnot. And only now, this is the thing. Now, this is the thing. Carisha, right? Carisha is kind of stuck. She ain't say anything, but they want her out because they want her to be with a more wholesome woman. They don't see how they're going to rehab Carisha's image. Not saying they couldn't, because Carisha is a mom. She does go back and forth. But the issue is Puffy paying for Carisha's image to be rehabbed? Is Puffy looking at Carisha like, oh yeah, we going there together? Or is Puffy looking to save himself? Puffy don't care. He's looking for his way out. Puffy gonna get some Christian. He gonna get Derek Jenks' old wife. He gonna get some Christian, some like he's gonna get somebody in full garb. He's gonna get somebody because he needs to rehab his image. He's gonna, and they're doing it. He's gonna turn into the family man. He's gonna say he found God. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to do a pilgrimage to Mecca. He's gonna try to say this and that. He's gonna try to do some stuff for the community, and then he's gonna come out with a nice woman, and him being like, I've changed, and everybody's gonna be like, okay. Carisha doesn't fit into that plan. Carisha, girl, you better jump before you push. But then again, maybe here's the thing. Carisha is a hustler. Maybe she'll figure out a way to fit into that plan, but I don't understand. You have a rap career. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're this. You don't need. Puffy has a dark, and that's another thing I will say. Puffy definitely had more money than Carisha by far when they met. But you know what the funny thing is? Puffy wasn't relevant. His last album only didn't even sell 26,000 copies, and it came out in September. Did y'all know that? I literally thought the album was coming out. I didn't even know. Puffy he don't even sell albums anymore. He gave Carisha money, but the one thing I don't think Carisha realized is that Carisha gave him relevancy. Carisha, when she started dating Puffy, city girls were up here. They were the hottest in the game, especially for that demographic. And nobody 25 listened to like that Bad Boy remix. They just watching their parents and their uncles and aunts being like, take this money, get this money. Ain't no way. That's all they doing. Ain't nobody really listening to Puffy, right? Y'all saw what happened on the Bad Boy reunion. How did that do? So it's kind of, well, y'all saw who was in there. Everybody that was what? It was a grown and sexy crowd. Carisha gave him relevancy in that 20-something-year-old demographic, which is what he needed. His new baby mama, what's her backstory? So she doesn't have a job in tech. She met Diddy, but here's the funny thing. A lot of people are saying from the timeline that Jenny, because Puffy is so, according to Jenny or other people, so mentally abusive that she's been with him for a minute and she was begging him that she wanted to have a baby with him. And because Puffy is mentally abusive, he went and got another Asian girl pregnant that looks like Gina, because him and Gina got in an argument one day and Gina was like, F you, I don't need you, blah, 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 blah. And then they reunited after the argument. And Gina thought things were cool until 8 months later, she found out that another baby was on the way. He literally I'm not going to say she's random, but she was just like casual. Gina was around since Cassie. I know Young Miami liked to be like, oh, Gina, jump off. No, she's not, because even from Miami's own tweets, when Miami said, Gina, you've been so pressed since I got here. Gina, talking about you, the cleanup girl. He sends you to go blank and blank every girl or guy you see, blah, 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 basically airing Puffy out. But it's like, Young Miami, that's what Cassie was doing before Gina. And then Gina replaced Cassie. And then you replaced Gina. But we know that there are duties that need to be performed during each Friday's freak off. Don't Cassie and Carisha and Diddy have a freak off effort Friday? Sound like a freak off. But honestly, so everybody likes to act like Gina, and yeah, Gina is dizzy, because honestly, how you dating a billionaire and you got carpet? I don't want to hear it. I wanted to have an intervention when I heard that girl had carpet in her house. Literally, hold my hand, hand me your phone. I will text him. You dumb SO. I will text him and let him know what I think. So anyway, right? Gina wanted the baby. She thought the baby was coming. They argued because, she thought I've been around for so long. Like, I have a little standing. I have a little respect. Puffy let her know, bitch, nobody gets respect around here. He got this girl pregnant who was Asian. He didn't know her that long. She was happy to have Puffy's baby because at this point, I don't know if she knew Puffy was crazy, but she was like, I want a baby, billionaire, fine, whatever, right? Gina found out it was devastated. But around that time, also, he started dating Young Miami. And she literally said that that Gina was a cleanup girl, but now you got Gina Spot. So who's the cleanup girl now? And on top of that, Puffy just keeps saying that they're friends. So that's what I heard is the backstory about his new baby mama. She is another Sarah situation where actually no, because he's known Sarah for a while too. No, she's not random, but they were only like maybe talking for a year or two. And they were seeing each other casually. And then she ended up getting pregnant. Clearly, I think the Puffy got her pregnant on purpose. And I think he got her pregnant to put Gina in her place. Because for whatever reason, he likes to mentally torture Gina. And he has figured out that he can mentally torture her and keep her in some $2.99 rugs for the whole time. That's what I did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yes. That's another thing. Sarah used to mess with Tupac. I will say one thing. If anybody, first of all, don't nobody ever date Diddy. But before we knew he was crazy, if anybody ever wants to get Diddy's attention, make sure you walk in the room with a man or a boyfriend. Because Diddy don't seem to want a woman. Every woman that we hear about, yeah, I was with my boyfriend, is how it starts. He seems like he don't want somebody else unless they come with a boyfriend, which makes me think he stole Cassie from Ryan Leslie. Did he want Ryan Leslie? Right? He stole Kim from I'll Be Sure. Maybe he wanted to I'll Be Sure. I'm just saying. Puffy, again, to me, my opinion, it 100% seems like real talk. Remember what 50 said? Puffy be using pictures and videos of Cassie. I was the one that, well, I didn't break the news, but whatever, right? Just shut up. I'm the one that broke the news. I didn't break the news, right? It was circulating on Instagram. I think I saw it on whose Instagram? Somebody's Instagram, the Uncut, I think, right? Puffy was always offering to take Diddy was always offering to take 50 Cent shopping. We gotta hang out. You looking good. He even was sending him pictures of Cassie and videos, explicit mess. And the thing is, Diddy was circulating those pictures to different guys. He was using Cassie as a honeypot. I think Cassie was, here's the thing. You know, some people say like, oh my God, do you think Diddy was beating on Cassie because he was like in the closet? Because he was gay? To which I say, hell no, because I know plenty of gay guys and they love women and they honor women and they respect women. I don't see the correlation between someone liking men and beating up women. I just don't. However, you know what I will say that I was thinking about this today? I'm going to share my thoughts with you because why not? We ain't got shit to do. I think that Diddy likes men and women. That's not the bombshell. Just hear me out, right? I think Diddy likes men and women. I think when he sees a J-Lo, a Cassie, a Kim Porter to some extent, he uses them and abuses them and sees them as dolls because they are dolls. They're honeypots to lure the men he really wants in. And he loves seeing them lure men in because he lives vicariously through them, because he wants to actually like voyeurism. God, how can I explain this? Because I'm doing a bad job. It's this voyeurism, but just hear me out. I believe the violence comes in because he is such a control freak. He almost feels godlike because he feels like he controls those women so much that they are nothing but like an avatar, a third-party player for his control. He controls those women so much that when he sees them getting it in, right? White fingernails everywhere. All you see is white fingernails and toenails, like right? That's all you see, just right? I think it clicks off it ticks all the boxes for his godlike need of control, where he feels like he is stepping outside of himself and making like heaven and earth move. And I think he got off on the fact that Cassie was disgusted by it, that she didn't like that. So I think that he was literally like getting off on kind of like a god stepping out of yourself and seeing it go. Because in his mind, he did not see Cassie as a human being. He saw her as an extension of himself, a tool. That's it. Like, like Final Fantasy or the Prince of Persia, right? I also think that his anger toward the woman he's with is because at the end of the day, I do believe that he resents the fact that as much as he tries to act like he's this all-powerful being, right? I think that he like is angry at the fact that he has to use these women as a honeypot, that he doesn't have access to any man he wants. Because don't forget, he's a control freak. It angers him that the men he sees in the industry, his coworkers, people he thinks should be bowing down, people that he's attracted to, won't look twice at him. They're not into that. Ew, yuck. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, like, rap was super, super homophobia. Now we have Lil Nas X, but not back then. Like, Wendy Williams made a whole career out of literally pushing people out the closet. And I think he has resentment because as much as he likes to pretend he's this god that steps out and controls the women, the anger comes whenever he sees the women exercise any free will, because it reminds him that he's nothing but a little punk that wants to get his bleep wet by 50 cents, and 50 cents is laughing at him. And he's mad that he has to use Cassie. He's mad. And again, this doesn't make Puffy sympathetic. He's a monster. He's mad that he cannot prey on everybody he wants. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit Silence of the Lammy, but I don't know. I really honestly do. And I think that's where the anger comes from, because you resent the fact that you don't, the power that you sometimes trick yourself into thinking that you have, right? By controlling these women. In the reality, you realize you don't have any power. You have to hire male blank workers, because in real life, the people you're trying to get with, they want Cassie. They want J-Lo. I don't know if they were involved. Let me stop putting people's names in, but they want Gina. You got to pay. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I think that's where his anger comes from, because at the end of the day, reality ruins his fantasy of being like a god, Anyway, somebody said, in my opinion, closeted men hate themselves and everyone because they can't fully be gay. You might be right. You might be right. Thank you so much for the super chat, a lady, 747. Muahanate. I don't know why I forgot how. I just said your name. Y'all know I will mess up a name. I'm sorry, Mama. Manate said, if you can be a villain on an episode of Criminal Minds, you're a bad person. True. True words. Thank you so much, Flavia Parker Pitt. Thank you so much for the super chat. D Money, thank you so much for the super chat. But y'all, this Kimora Lee video that I'm working on, I think it's a winner. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, think it's a winner. Listen, calling these guys down. Oh my God, right? Oh my God. So listen, yes, he was called. You know what? I got this video. A Puffy Wallen. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to leave y'all with this because y'all going to flip out when y'all see this mess. Where are they? I was going to make a video out of it. I mean, I still will, but I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek. This is y'all king. And everybody just clapping hands and laughing. And I was just like, what that? Oh, you know what? My heart really does break for Cassie and every woman, whether they admit it or not, that had to go through that with Diddy, because that was some Puffy to me. I don't even want to hear. You know, sometimes when people, you're like, you are pure evil. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Just please stop. That's the way I feel. Where are these damn pictures? I went too far. I got pictures of like the ritualistic candle. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, is this it? Yep, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Y'all about to see something. Let me just zoom in for y'all. One second. I'm zooming in for y'all. I swear to God, it's going to be worth it. Just hold on. Just hold on. Hold on. Because these pictures, who sent these to me? I got to say thank you. I was going to say thank you in my, in the video, but I want to make sure I thank you now. And who sent this to me? Is this it? Who sent this? Ah, there we go. Creative Brand Alchemist. She sent it to me. Oh, wait, no. Who sent this? Oh, sorry. Mrs. Chris's sent this to me. Mrs. Chris's sent this to me. Thank you so much, Mama, for sending this to me. Okay, y'all. I took some stills from this video. Y'all remember Ness from Making the Band? Y'all remember, right? Do y'all remember? Ness from Making the Band. He literally opened a cheesecake shop. Oh, it's not over. He opened a cheesecake shop. It's a pop-up shop. Because remember, he made some money out of, yeah. We did the Making of the Band. We did this. And, I'm not going to lie. It was pretty smart. He really capitalized on that. So just recently on September 21st, Puffy popped up to somewhere, right? I don't know if he was there for Ness or not, but Puffy popped up. And Puffy, all right, Puffy, Ness went up to him and he was like, yo, man, I got the cheesecake is good. Why don't you taste it and see how it tastes, right? And Puffy had some of that cheesecake. And I want y'all to see some stills from Puffy eating the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime, all right? It's all fun and games, right? Right? So he dipped his finger in the cheesecake and he was like, this is good. It's all fun and games. Apparently, Ness's cheesecakes are really good. But listen, look at this. This was Diddy. Everybody laughing. How come does everybody know what he's into and they just do it because they're just so pressed to get? Diddy was sitting there putting the cheesecake on the tip of his tongue in the video. I can't play because YouTube going to demonetize me. Talking about something with his tongue. I can't even do it. Ugh, makes me feel dirty. With his tongue. Oh, it's not over. There's more pictures. Y'all, he was wiggling his tongue at the camera with some cheesecake on the end. With the cheesecake on. Oh, it's not over. It's not over. He then went extra long. I did the pictures backwards. Literally pulling his finger in and out of his mouth, eating the cheesecake, then looked right at the cameras, put some cheesecake on the tip of his tongue, and was wiggling his tongue at the camera. Meanwhile, all these guys around him are like, yeah, bad boy for life. We ain't nowhere. I forgot the song because we bad. No. He's on the R. Kelly list. We ain't dancing to it no more. Sorry, y'all. Get this. This is when I have the pictures out of order. This last one sent me. This is when Ness saw Diddy deep throating the cheesecake. Yo, he is. Who said that? Who said he dressed like the Village People? Amy Rio said that leather vest don't help. Why it's fun to stay at the Y. He was giving Beer Daddy leather. He was dead. You better lay down. He literally, what is this mess? Look at Ness's face as Diddy deep throats. Can you imagine? That he used to be your boss, all this stuff. Maybe he never bothered Ness. I don't know what the situation is with that. But you would imagine he went, because in the video, I'm going to play it in the video tomorrow. He ran up to Diddy and he was just like, yo, this is the man. This is the man. And he was bigging up Diddy. And Diddy was like, all right, let me taste your cheesecake. And Diddy went and deep throated the cheesecake. And then sat there and had it wiggling on his tongue. And I was just like, ew, right? And Ness looked so confused. He didn't know whether to run. Look at his face. He didn't know whether to run, stop. It looked like he was having flashbacks from Making of the Band. I don't want to laugh about it because something might have happened. I don't know. But he looked like he was doing something from Making of the Band. Flashbacks. No, I don't want to go in the booth. I don't want to go in the booth. I don't want to go. He looked like he about to scream bad touch. And Diddy doing all this extra. Why you got deep throat? Look at this. Why you got deep throat that man? Look. He just like, y'all, Diddy is a menace. He needs to get off the street. And I think the reason everybody's mad is because he was hiding in plain sight. He was hiding in plain sight. That's all. He was hiding in plain sight. Listen. And listen, let me stop making jokes because all jokes aside, I really honestly don't know. I feel so bad. I actually don't know if something happened to Nest. So let me stop making jokes because at this point, everybody that is around Diddy may be a victim. He dated Carmen Diaz. He dated Sienna Miller. Diddy has been around. I actually want to see, I don't know. I really feel like he is about to be exposed. And all I really, really want to know is who? Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Where'd you go? Anthony said, Tisa, do y'all think Diddy has a long history of essay allegations? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he was doing this when he didn't have any money. When he got money, he just multiplied, Yeah. Something. I said, I was 13 and looked up to Cassie hard when her song Me and You came out. When she went silent randomly and I saw her shaving her head off back then, I knew something was up. You know what? I swear to God, I feel you. So I was sitting there talking to my cousin, right? Most of my effery that happens when I'm sitting around talking to my cousin. And I remember we got into this big argument because Cassie had saved the side of her head. And y'all know me, even before I had a new YouTube channel, my favorite thing to do is zoom in on pictures, right? I'm like, what's that, right? And everybody said I was crazy because I was like, yo, Cassie's hair is ripped out. She has a scar right there. And I remember saying it because when this came out, my cousins called me when I was like, is she being abused? And they was like, what are you talking about, crazy? And I'm like, I'm serious. First of all, why would she shave her head off? Because now it looks cute. But back then, nobody thought it was cute. She got clowned for weeks. But second of all, when you look close, you could see a scar. And you could see very, very fine stitching when you zoomed in. Mind you, back then, videos weren't 3K, but you could see very, very, very fine stitching, right? And I remember being like, is Cassie abused? And you know what I will say also? When Young Jock, remember that story Young Jock said about, he was like, yo, I want you to shave your head off, right? I don't fully believe that story. Don't get me wrong. I know Young Jock be talking, but he be adding a lot to it. I still believe that one of the reasons she shaved her head off is because Puffy pulled a chunk of her hair out. Now, y'all could think different, but after reading her complaint, when he literally had her on the, literally, I'm not even going to make a joke about it because it's just not funny, but she was curled up behind the toilet. You can't tell me that man wasn't slinging her around, ripping her hair out, just going crazy on her. Again, I knew something was up too when she shaved her head off. And even the way she looked after she shaved her head off, there was something that just wasn't right. There's something that just wasn't right. Listen, who said that? Who said that? Somebody, Bruja said, they all got it. He said, let me show y'all how to eat some cake. But again, the fact that because he had money, and this is all I'm going to say before I go, y'all, don't ever let money ever. I know we all needed to live, and I know like whatever. And I'm not, listen, the stuff that happened with Cassie and that's mental abuse fixed in. Unless you read about it, you know somebody went through it, you went through it yourself, you really don't understand. Because people be saying dumb stuff like, you had enough time to leave. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. And I realize people don't even want to educate themselves because they keep repeating it. But I mean, like, as far as like when somebody got money, power, celebrity, the way people be flipping out, take a picture, going crazy, screaming, oh my God, they are just people, just like you and me. And Puffy proves, along with a lot of other celebrities, they are people like you and me, but they are people that don't have to have any boundaries, don't have to have any rules, don't have to see you as real, and don't have to treat you as equal. I'm saying a lot of people see people with, y'all better go get yourselves a nice businessman. A lot of people see like celebrities and they get awe and gaga, but you should literally approach them. Again, don't get me wrong. Y'all know my boyfriend ain't broke, right? Nothing wrong with being broke. And my boyfriend's not broke, right? But there's nothing wrong with being broke, right? There's nothing wrong. I've dated broke, never doing it again. But y'all get my point. I'm just joking. I'm not. My boyfriend's not broke. I'm not saying that y'all got to go date broke, but we need to stop seeing behind, oh, you took turkeys to a drive and Thanksgiving. You must be a good person. Oh, you got money. You must be a good person. Oh, you a hardworking man that work at U-Haul. You must be a nice person. We need to get past these storybook tropes of what makes a good man or a good woman and start looking at the real indicators of what makes a good man or a good woman. How they treat their kids. Are they taking care of the kids? Do they love their kids? Are they there for the kids? How they treat their mama, how they treat their daddy, how they treat their family, how they treat their friends. So many people will see their friends cheat on their significant others and be like, oh, whatever, right? No, but like, how do they treat? And if you're cool with that, that's great. But know that you will never be treated better than that. In this world, it's like, oh, they dress nice. Oh, look at this. Oh, they got a lot of respect. Oh, they got a hit album. And oh, they got money. Oh, they're a respected CEO. Oh my God, they volunteer in the community. That's all great. But we know that narcissists and people that wish ill will hide behind all that because they need the glory. They want people to think. It's like somebody sitting down with you and being like, I think my toxic trait is I'm such a good person. Nobody's a good person, really calls himself a good person. Y'all good people. When's the last time you said, well, I'm just a good person? Think about it. I mean to someone else, not to yourself. Like, I don't understand. I do right by. No, I mean to someone else when you're on a first date. I'm just a really good person and I'm looking for a really good. Who says that? And if you are saying it and you don't mean it like that, please stop saying that. Stop saying that because people won't think you're a narcissist. But honestly, this is the age of Aquarius. We are in Scorpio seasons. Masks are being ripped off. Ripped off. Start looking at the way people treat their kids. And not if they keep their kids well dressed and that. No, do you see your kids? Do your kids love you? Are you emotionally supportive to your children? Are you the type of father or mother that I would want for myself or to raise my offspring? I'm being dead serious. Stop looking at how much money a man has in a bank. A broke man ain't no better than a rich man. A narcissist, as a narcissist, a social. The rich man might be mean to you because he don't want anybody to touch his money. The broke man might be knocking your head off because he mad he ain't got any money. We have to stop putting these labels on people. The easiest way to see how a person is to pay attention to the way they treat people around them. And when people talk trash about them, you don't got to believe it, but baby, keep an ear open. And let's see if we see any cooperating fact. When you see his ex-girlfriend saying he ain't she don't get the baby, he don't do this, he don't do that, blah, 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 blah. He hit me. You might want to listen. When the ex-boyfriend is like, yo, she crazy. She da, 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 you might want to listen. I'm not saying you got to cut the person off, but be like, that's a data point. Let me see if I see anything else in your behavior at all that can correspond to that. Do you see what I'm saying? Baby, this is the age of Aquarius. Use it to your advantage. Seriously, Look at those red flags. You can start using this as a litmus. You can use Kiki Palmer. You know the way I used to find out if somebody I was dating, or and I mean early in dating, like first, second, third date, right? Because you know me, by the third date, I'm like, so, I want to hear everything. So when your mom fled your dad, what happened? I get deep into conversations, but the first couple of days I keep it lighthearted. But the number one thing you can do is do litmus tests. Oh my God, what do you think about the whole Kiki Palmer thing? I know, right? And no matter what he says, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Don't be like, what do you mean he had a right? Don't interrupt. Really? I know. Kiki's mouth, she be mouthy, right? I get it. Shut up, Kiki. Whatever they say, smile, nod along. You are not trying. People like that, you can't change their mind. People like that don't listen. You can't change their mind. You either going to be the next victim or the next escapee. There's only two choices. So ain't no point in being like, well, I think, because you're not going to get to them. When somebody tells you some ignorant thoughts, just nod, laugh along. I know she's the worst. Yeah. What would you have done? Yeah, I know. Literally, don't ever let them know that you're judging them. Listen to what they're saying. Let them tell on themselves. My daddy always told me, somebody would tell on themselves, just let them talk. Let them know what they think of an effed up situation that you think is 100% a situation that is so morally ambiguous. No reasonable person could ever think the opposite way. And ask them, but just, what do you think? Oh, I don't know. I'm just a dumb girl. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, yeah, I know. Cassie shouldn't have got that money. I know. She was there for years. She shouldn't have got that. Like, what? Literally, that's all you got to keep doing. Those dusties will tell on themselves. This goes for men too. Somebody that is crazy in the head that really does, because that's the thing. Last thing I say before I leave, I know I keep saying this, but I got one more thing, right? Last thing I say, everybody thinks they're a good person. Puffy is probably crying, talking about, why me? I help so many people. Lex Luthor, the devil, is probably downstairs being like, it's unfair. All I did was dance and play some music. I get kicked out. But yet Jesus is out here cutting up all those mortals on the earth, burning that bee down, and I'm the one that gets sentenced to hell? Not fair. Everybody thinks they're an MF and victim. Everybody thinks they're right. Everybody thinks they're justified. Your job in life is not to play judge or jury. Your job in life is to find someone that sees life the way you do, that sees justice and fairness the way you do. Because at least you know that when we play this game of life, the very least you can do is make sure that everybody on your playing board is playing by the same rules. You can't have it's like playing spades with somebody and they cheating with a pair. But like, do you see what I'm saying? That is your only job, to literally, one, if you're not feeling it, to cycle through. But the bare minimum in the first 3 dates is to make sure. And that's why you don't interrupt, because you don't want them to feed off you. Because there's a lot of people like Puffy that when you're like, oh my God, Kiki Palmer, blah, blah, like, do y'all think I would be running my mouth on YouTube if I was single? No, because I wouldn't want a mofo to be on my page being like, okay, I figured her out. Let me go manipulate her. Seriously, I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Instagram. I kept my thoughts to myself. Yes, I know. But that is because people that seek to hurt will literally listen to you and then start telling you, oh yeah, I know. Poor Kiki. Darius is evil. Boo. I would never do that to you, queen. Never. No. I like to talk. Peaceful conflict resolution. They will tell you what you want to hear. That's why it's important to play stupid, smile along, and encourage them in their foolery. Because again, like my dad always told me, when you get into the arena of dating, because it is an arena, right? And you are trying to figure out, oh, this and that, I can't find the red flags. You can. The biggest red flag is you being foolish enough to pursue something with someone that does not see the world the way you see it. I'm not saying they got to have the same temperament. I'm not saying they got to be, no, because all that is like, you pick, like dad told me, you pick the top 3 things you want. Everything else is like, all right, you want a man that like is faithful. Okay. All right. But don't be complaining that he don't wash the dishes because you want to wash the dishes or you want to be texting him like, where is he at? You know, you want a man that's spontaneous. All right. He's spontaneous, but don't get mad that he's not really good at making things because at the end of the day, pick your top 3 things that are important to you. Everything else can be negotiable. I would hope honesty. You're emotionally supportive. Emotionally supportive means you're honest. You're faithful, right? You're faithful and you've learned conflict resolution skills, which means that we can talk through our arguments. Yeah, we might be mad, but eventually you can de-escalate. But the number one thing that is in that arena, the roof over the arena, is the fact that they must see values and principles the same way you do. They must honestly feel that there is no reason for a man to ever hit a woman. They must honestly feel that there is no reason to ever cheat on your spouse. They must honestly feel that all people, do you see what I'm saying? Whatever your viewpoint is, even something as simple as like, what do you think about the war that's going on? What do you think about this? Listen to them. Because most people don't listen to that. They think, oh, they're just saying that. They don't mean it. Oh, I'll explain it to them. You know what? It's okay. It's not. You don't need someone to agree with you, right? You just need someone to sit because we have to both agree to the rules. The rules are I can't hit you, you can't hit me. The rules are I can't cheat on you, you can't cheat on me. The rules are I have to be there for you, just like you have to be there for me. Now we can always disengage. We can always say, okay, bet I'm done. I don't want another game. I don't want to go to level 2. But if you're with someone that believes that if they get mad, they have the right to hit you, right? How are you ever even going to build something? That's all. I really do feel that most red flags you can get away with just by listening. I don't even know how I got on this relationship high road. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying, right? And that goes back into Cassie. Cassie got with someone that didn't see the world the way she did. And once you're on there, it's a slippery slope because unfortunately, they didn't see the world the same. And the way Puffy saw the place was a really, really dark, 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 evil situation. You know? Yeah. You can't listen, but here's the thing. It's not about ignoring red flags. It's just like, do I vibe? The funny thing is, everybody goes through that. Some people go through it younger than others. I went through that. I think every woman, until you find your person, you go through that, you know? And honestly, nothing, well, let me shut up. But I'm like, nothing in life lasts forever. But then I'm like, my boyfriend might be watching this on replay. So everything lasts forever. Love you. Mwah, forever and a day, right? But like, honestly, it's to the point that relationships, my dad always told me, they're not easy, but they feel easy. I've said it before. It's like going to a job that you work your butt off, but you love doing it. You work for yourself. You love doing it. As opposed to going to a job where you hate it. You hate the boss. I don't want to be here. I want my own stuff. Your relationship is supposed to feel like you're making your dream amount, you're your own boss, and you just got to grind. Yeah, it's hard, but you're like, but I'm so grateful that I got to do this. I wouldn't be anywhere else. When it comes to relationships, you just literally have to cycle through people as quick as you can, because the thing is, until you actually click with someone and you see how easy it is, you need to keep saying next, next, next. Don't let those dusties talk to you about body count. Sleep with them if you want. Don't sleep. I don't care. I don't think God cares. He's taking babies off this earth. I don't care. I don't think he cares about who you give sloppy toppy for. That's for you. As long as you feel like you respect it, do you, right? My whole thing is whether you're sleeping with them or not, cycle through. You go on a date, you're not feeling it. Again. Next. Go on a second date. No, next. Because once you find that person you click with, it's going to be smooth sailing. They're going to be like, you're truly your best friend. Don't you and your best friend kind of not see the world the same, but you guys agree to the same rules of how people are supposed to act. Y'all from like, okay, yeah, I get it. You don't steal out of my purse. I don't steal out of yours. But you understand the way and you have base level. Think about when you were friends with someone that truly didn't see the world the way you did, the messed up things that happened, the misunderstandings. I'm telling you, when you're dating, next. Dusties want to tell you, oh, slow down. You need to sit down. It's too much. Why do they tell you that? Because the longer they can waste your time, the better it is for them. The dusty people know they're dusty. They need to waste your time. They want to brainwash all women so that you start being like, wait, maybe I'll wait. Is it me? Next, 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 next. No, how come next? Literally. Pretty soon you just have a buzzer. But from that, you are going to find your right person. Ask the questions. Don't try to force it. When you click, that person will feel like your best friend. They'll want to be around you. And I promise you they will. They'll want to be around you. They'll want to call. You'll never have to ask somebody, what are we? Because they will tell you, you are mine. Y'all will be on the same page so often. You'll meet their family. You'll meet their friends. They might be rich and they might spoil you to death. They might be poor and they still are breaking off a third of their paycheck to make sure you got food or sneakers or you can go get your hair done. Again, it's not rich or poor, it's the character. Because I know some stingy rich men and I know some very, very generous men that don't really make that much a month, but they're generous as hell with what they do have. Everything you want, it's just going to flow. They're going to want it themselves. If you got to ask yourself, if it's not clicking, if it's red flags, that means you need to that's the universe telling you need to let go sooner, because the universe will rip it out of your hands if you don't. All that pain you feel, that is the universe being like, give me, let go, let go, let go. Because the universe is not going to let you ruin your life. Look at Khloe Kardashian. The universe keeps trying to pull Tristan out of her arms, and she is fighting the universe, windmilling the universe to keep that man in front of her. I know the universe is tired, but they're going to keep pulling Tristan away, cheating, the mental abuse, all that stuff, until Khloe finally says, all right, enough. And she's going to let that go. And even Khloe's going to find her person. I know. I don't know. Khloe's praying to God. I know God's like, what I got to do with this? Anyway, y'all. Anyway, y'all, listen, I have to go. Thank you so much for joining me. I really, really, really appreciate it. Please, the video is going to be dropping tomorrow. Can you guys just remember that the video is going to be dropping tomorrow? I would very much appreciate it. Yeah, I guess that is it. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.